Hello, I'm so happy to have you here. Now, I know that I have made so many promises in this last several weeks. I have done my video about fibromyalgia and it's going to be posted. That one I will not do live. It's my story and it's very tender. Anyhow, so moving on to that's part of what has brought me to this point of strengthening, because telling your story and acknowledging your story can be such a strengthener within. It can build muscle. It can build strength. It's not building the muscle and the strength that would be normally considered building and muscle strength and so on. A lot of things that I learned this week. I learned a lot this week, to be honest with you. I was so surprised. I had no idea how much I had done. I felt like I really hadn't done anything, but yet I had done everything. You know what I mean? Anyhow, I went to my physical therapy appointment and I was sitting there lifting my leg like it was in pain. I could tell it was in pain. Something was wrong. And I remember getting up when my therapist came in and walking very tenderly. She's like, "Do you need a cane?" "No, just need to walk." Well, by the time it was done, I explained to her what I was doing. She said that I had activated the muscles and tendon and nerves in my body so much that it was affecting my sciatic. So she went to work on it. And then she evaluated everything I told her about what I had done and told me, keep going. Because sometimes with the fibromyalgia, this is a challenge. Movement is a challenge. But what makes it worse is that with the lack of movement, the muscles and the nerves start to weaken. I'm speaking from experience here, okay? So I went for a full year struggling. Before then, I was okay. I wasn't the best. But I was doing all right with strength in my muscles. I knew with the surgery in my ankle that my muscles would probably be reduced down. Boy, were they reduced down. I practically have no muscle strength because of it. So I'm having to build back up. But what I learned is that before the surgery, I also did not have a lot of muscle strength. It was some, it just wasn't as good as it could be. Okay. So the truth is that I didn't know I was working out. Do you ever realize how many times you do things and people say, "You're not doing anything, you're not making any changes, you're not doing any workouts, you're being a lazy douche"? I'm going to tell you some secrets here. Workouts for fibromyalgia are different. What kind of workouts am I talking about? I am talking about walking, moving things around in the house, getting rid of things, doing things that you wouldn't normally do that require muscle, going for walks with friends, taking dog walks, and they don't have to be a lot, doing the dishes, cooking, cleaning. I mean, I'm doing vacuuming and stuff like that, and very light at that, and it's on stairs. And the truth of the matter is that for a normal person, that's really lightweight. But somebody with fibromyalgia, that is huge. Now, the reason why this is so big is because I've been going blindly in faith that all of this would lead to something so big. You see, I had a service dog back in February of 2021 I had to let him go. He couldn't breathe anymore. And my body spiraled downhill. I could tell it was spiraling. I could feel it. It was spiraling downhill. But I knew that the answer, I didn't want to believe that he had done so much work for me because he was a bona fide service dog. And I had no idea. I mean, this little Chihuahua pug mix with all his 14 pounds of gusto, he was too heavy for me. Physically, I was dropping him because my wrists couldn't handle him. But he had gusto. He had the ability to keep me on track and keep me together. Now, I talked with my doctors, my counselors, therapists, everybody, just to make sure that I was correct, that it didn't need to be that big to be able to still do the same job. That was really truthfully important, because we still need to keep building the strength, still need to keep building the muscle. With fibromyalgia, you have to still think on the ball. You've still got, and it's tough, it's rough, let me tell you. It really is a challenge, okay? So I went back to them and I found out under 10 pounds for my risk for therapy. And it couldn't just be any kind of dog either, because it needed a particular servicing, because it's not an emotional support, not at all. It needs to be able to be aware of different public surroundings and how to work with me to keep me in focus and not break down, not have issues, not have anxiety attacks, etc. And yes, the anxiety is in this case associated towards fibromyalgia. Because you have anxiety, it affects the nerves, which affects the fibros. The fibers and the nerves in the body. That's what it is. It's anxiety as well. So, that's why I went back. I have officially, and it's taken me a little while. I started saving for this service dog back in November of 2022. I told him I want it for my Christmas present. It didn't happen for my Christmas present, but I consider a Christmas present and birthday present combined. So I have officially found my service dog. Went through several rounds. I did go through and look at shelters. I had been told by everybody, shame on you for going to a breeder I happen to know since childhood. I didn't know she was a breeder. But she specializes, and she's very strict on her rules, and she's very Christian. She's very strong in her faith. She's very strong in prayer, and we joined together in prayer and in faith, and she was willing to work with me. She had no clue when we started what I was looking for, and I couldn't tell her because I didn't know how to tell her. I just knew in my gut that I would know, and she went with it. And because of that, I now have officially found my baby Bella. And I will be introducing her probably within the next month. Because I won't be getting her before the next month. She needs to still be with her mama and learn some social skills. She's doing really good with her social skills, but I told them that I told my girlfriend she needs to work on her social skills, and I need to work on me and getting the environment ready for her. Now, in getting ready for the environment, the environment ready for her, what that means is that I have been having to move things around, clean things up, clear things out, rearrange things, and basically puppy-proofing the area. But what I've done is, and that's why I felt this was such an amazing piece, is that I have been building up this muscle that has been gradually going downhill and just becoming there. It's nerves and fibers. That's it. And not muscle. So the muscle has been getting woken up. But here's the catch. the fibromyalgia has been getting woke up too. So I'm ending up in these muscle pains and these muscle fatigues. And let me tell you, I am fatiguing out like crazy. I mean, I work and do a little bit of cleaning and then I'm exhausted. So I lay down for like 45 minutes and I get back up and I do a little bit more. And I'm talking a little bit more, maybe an hour. And I'm exhausted. So I lay down for a little bit. Then I get back up again and I do some more. And then I lay down again. And it's because I'm so fatigued because I haven't been able to do much work. So that's what I'm trying to get clarity to as well. Because for the last almost year, I've gone from a wheelchair. No, I've gone from not being able to put any weight on my feet, on my foot. My right foot was operated on in March last year. But I went from not being able to put any weight to being, and they put me on crutches. Now, crutches and fibromyalgia are oil and water. But I went to a wheelchair, and I knew how to turn the wheelchair around and turn it into a walker. So I've been to a walker, and then I started just recently to going without anything, just walking, just natural. You know, half hour, 45-minute walk with some dogs and a friend. You know, I never realized until this happened how good it feels when they say, oh my gosh, I didn't even recognize you. You didn't have your medical help with you. You didn't, we didn't recognize you. You're in a different setting, in a positive setting, with dogs, without a wheelchair, walking, without any assistance. Wow, that's huge. Is that easy? No, I've been sharing on a weekly basis about the challenges that are involved. But what I'm telling you also is how motivating and encouraging it can be on the mind. When you hear that externally, it really feeds to your internal, I can do it. It's going to be hard work, but I can do it. I can become strong. I can become stronger. I am strong. I am worth it. I am not going to be Superwoman or Superman, but I can do this. So the bottom line is that when you have other people noticing your differences, that's huge. And when they're positive differences, that's even better. The workouts that you do around your home, vacuuming, cleaning, doing dishes, doing laundry, just basic cleaning, moving things around, doing activities, even if you're fatigued after half an hour, 45 minutes, when you see what you have accomplished, it will make a difference. Oh, and by the way, if you have kids that are able to do things, even like little toddler kids, get them involved to help you put away their toys, help them, teach them how to put away their clothing, teach them the basics. There's no excuses, not when they're toddler and above, especially when you have fibromyalgia. Teach them how to do these things so that they can be your helpmates. So until next time, I'm looking forward to it. Do keep an eye out for my recordings, because they will be coming out about fibromyalgia as well as my podcast. And I will be putting my links for, I'll be putting my Linktree connection once I get it fixed. I did start it. It's just technical issues. So until next time, have a great one.